Fat black belts. Can they fight? Okay guys, to tackle a topic that is probably terribly un-PC, but I think most martial artists couldn't care less about PC. Let's talk about fat black belts. Yeah, so my premise with this is not just to rag on those that like to indulge, but actually to have an honest conversation about what it takes to be able to use your martial arts, right? A lot of us take for granted that if we're training, if we're learning new techniques, if we're progressing up through the ranks over time, that somehow empowers us or enables us to protect ourselves and those that we care about. Fallacy number one, okay? I'm going to play two clips for you guys. The first one is just fantastic. This woman has gotten a lot of flack over the years, and it was one of the first videos that came up when I searched for fat black belts. And so, you know, she's going to get the brunt of it. This is not to rag on her. This is actually to address the guy that put the black belt on her. But I do have a larger point to make, and so hopefully this doesn't come across as me being just the worst of human beings, right? But let's look at this clip real quick. Oop, missed. Oh, missed again. Hands. Aim for it. She slapped one. Side kick, miss. Side kick, miss. Try it again. Might as well. People wait for you on the street. Oh, 3 times. Oh, 4. This guy's poor fingers. Oh, there we go. Oh, dropped the whole body weight onto that one. Back to the punch and broke her hand a 3rd time. Congratulations. Okay, so let me skip ahead. Oh, wait. Nope, punch the guy in the fingers. This is too good. Okay, there we go. Broke both hands in the process. Congratulations. I'm going to skip ahead. All right, we've got this master, this black belt, performing a form, forgetting the form along the way. It looks like she's forgetting. Maybe it's just part of her approach to fool the enemy. Yeah, so we can see the coordination and the precision of a 5-year-old that just wandered in off the street. So a disaster all around. I mean, and she gets a lot of flack for it. And I don't know this lady. She's probably a great woman, you know. But we've got problems here. So let me contrast this with another video of a sprinter, of an athlete, a proper athlete, just to give it a little bit of context here. So this lady's prepping. I'll try to get beyond the gratuitous butt shot. So we've got awesome set of super fast high knees. Like, damn, I wish I had those. Flutter kicks. And here she is sprinting, but you can see the power. Alignment is amazing. You know, just the explosion off that line, and that's all we need to see. And so I put forth to you guys something to consider, right? Is my point here being that you can't be overweight and still be a decent martial artist? No, I've met actually some phenomenal martial artists who are overweight. I would make a caveat. It does depend on the martial art. If you're dealing with a martial art that is benefited by mass and maybe doesn't require a tremendous amount of agility and mobility, like we might take some of the grappling arts, for example, that really benefit from this. We might look at judo, jiu-jitsu, hapkido. I've seen guys that are extremely overweight in these categories, and they manage to use their weight to their advantage. And it's a tough thing to overcome. And it's something that, look, if you are a striker, or if you are even a grappler, you should not underestimate size, even if it's not all strength, because mass matters, right? Not just strength, but mass matters. And that's why when you look at professional MMA, all fighting categories, there are weight divisions. Why? because weight makes a difference. And it doesn't all need to be functional, strength-based weight. It does make a difference. But now what I will say is if you're dealing with a non-grappling art, or even just looking at martial arts in general, I just submitted 2 videos to you guys. We could contrast these. Now the first one was not an example of a good martial artist who happens to be overweight. She's not good in either category. She's a bad martial artist and a horrible athlete. So we've got both of these. But then when we look at the athlete, we can see the power. Clearly this person looks like she could sprint for days. The stamina, the speed, like all these categories of what we would say need to comprise a good martial artist, this woman has in spades, right? And so what I'm trying to get at is this. A lot of us assume that technique means everything, that learning simulations and fighting, if-then scenarios, they do this, you do this as a response. This is kind of the bulk of training. And while this is critical, it is critical to train a lot of that way, we need to consider who's performing at the end of the day and what is underlying that technique. Because it is absolutely delusional if you think that you can be a bad athlete and a good martial artist. Not going to happen. And a lot of people say, oh, if I'm ever in a fight or I'll just run. Well, I just showed you 2 videos. Let me run a short clip of those people again. Which one of these people do you think would be a better survivor in that circumstance? It's not the fat black belt, right? So I had a question a couple of days ago from an old friend, and I think that this actually illuminates this difference quite a bit. But he had asked me what I do for my my kicking regimen and my martial arts sometimes, and I have a mind-body system I talk about probably more often than not on this channel, but weightlessness, and I practice that on a regular basis. Runs the gamut of mind-body development, and the idea behind it did stem from my martial arts about 2 decades ago, and since then has become a comprehensive, minimalistic system for performance. How I explain that to martial artists is, it's the stuff that makes martial arts work, right? On top of which you place your technique. So you ask me, well, what do I do for my, kicking and different types of, and I don't kick much anymore. I don't kick much in the way that martial arts practice their kicking. I might maybe do a little bit of a casual session once or twice a week or something like that, but it's not as focused as it was a long time ago. But what I do is I practice the substance of those techniques. I keep myself fit. I practice my flexibility on a daily basis, meditate on a daily basis, and these 3 things culminate in a substance that comprises the ability to kick, comprises the ability to move. And so what that means is I need a lot less time on my technical upkeep than other people that are not doing those foundations. So in my travels around the world, the 2 strongest categories of martial artists, the 2 strongest styles that I came across, which I honestly do not think and credit the styles themselves, which in one case, Thai boxing, I don't think is a terribly sophisticated martial art. And on the other one, I think is a highly sophisticated martial art, which is Shaolin Kung Fu, and then the fighting system underneath that, which is Sanda. Both of these athletes, though, these martial arts and these martial artists in these categories are extraordinarily conditioned. I mean, conditioning is half of the training. These guys will train 4 to 5 days a week, 4 to 5 hours a day, every week ongoing for years and years. Until you have tried to train this way, you cannot appreciate or understand the level of athleticism that goes into these guys' techniques. So in the Thai boxers I saw a few guys that were highly technical, highly skilled, but a lot of them were not throwing the types of techniques that I would say that's a highly skilled, cross, right cross, or reverse punch, or elbow. But they had so much physicality and power and stamina behind their performance. These guys were exceptional fighters. And this is the way that we need to be thinking about a lot of the way that we train, right? It's great that you're doing your techniques. It's great that you're doing your if-then scenarios and looking at all these consequences, but if you don't have not just a base, but a significant level of fitness and performance underneath that, which means the strength, the flexibility, the meditation, the stuff that makes you adaptable, strong, powerful, explosive. What are you going to do when you're under pressure? Fine motor skills, techniques absolutely fall apart under pressure without a high level of stress conditioning. There's 2 ways to get that. You fight a lot, which exposes you to a ton of risk, or you condition the nervous system through high intensity training. That could mean your 1 to 3 rep maxes. It could mean your sprints and your anaerobic types of performance. But stuff that actually conditions the mind and the nervous system to be able to perform under pressure. This training is not pleasant. It's definitely not fun. But it's what allows for your techniques to become applicable and practical. So guys, I think I will keep this one short and sweet there and cut it off. But if you're currently training, if you're currently doing that martial arts thing, or name your type of physical craft or performance, I'd encourage you not just to look at the style, which gives you the tools, principles, and resources to be able to perform that given skill set, but I'd encourage you to look one layer above that, to the tools and skills that make all humans perform well at all times. The stuff that addresses your physical structure, your power, your stamina, your insight, and adaptability. Right? Yeah. Let me know what you think, guys. I do appreciate, I've received several recommendations from people in the comments over the last week, and I've got them noted down, and I'm going to start working through them because they were actually very good ideas and quite insightful. So, if this stuff strikes a chord, if you have questions, ask me in the comments, leave a comment. And if you got any recommendations or stuff that you'd like me to look at or cover, well, I would love to hear it. So, until the next time, like, subscribe, be weightless.